Faces, happy Sunday morning. How are you? How are you? All right, let's go stand up. We're going to open up our service with Unity on the Mountaintop. Written by our lovely very Sam and Digger, Booty Delight. And we're today up on the screen in a moment. Jazz up request. You ready? Here we go. Unity on the mountaintop, unity. Yeah, come on up to the mountaintop, come on up, come on up. Know His presence and feel His love, unity on the mountain. Unity, that's for me on the mountaintop. Yeah, yeah. Just one presence, His love expressed in unity on the mountain. Come on up, we won't let you down on the mountaintop. Unity. Unity on the mountaintop, unity. Yeah, come on up to the mountaintop, come on up, come on up. Know His presence and feel His love, unity on the mountain. Unity, that's for me on the mountaintop. Yeah, yeah. Just one presence, His love expressed in unity on the mountain. Come on up, we won't let you down on the mountaintop. Unity. Come on up, we won't let you down on the mountaintop. Unity. Good morning, Velveteen. Put your hands and namaste. Yeah, you and me. Having a hug competition up here. It's a hug fest.
Nice to see you not have that thorough.
We must together. We must together in unity and love. We must together. We must together in love.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's so wonderful to have you here with us. Unity on the mountaintop. Let us affirm together our opening statement, which can be found in the bulletin and of course.
We got it. We're in training. It's
Okay. There is only one presence
and one power in my life and the universe, God the good.
Up on the altar, you see our Christ candle. It represents that sweet, sacred God-Christ essence within each and every one of us. Let us affirm together our vision and mission statements.
Centered in God, we inspire spiritual transformation, creating a world of love, peace, and prosperity. We are an inclusive spiritual community, inspiring, awakening, and serving in love.
This is one of my favorite parts of the service, the children's blessing. Well, we really don't have any little ones, except our inner child within each and every
We
one.
have our children's chapter upstairs. They're all children's chapter.
Oh, well, that, I didn't know that. I haven't been upstairs. Wonderful, wonderful.
We have a children's chapter.
Wonderful, and we are a special young man that is manning the AV system, and thank you very much. And the precious children in our lives and around the world. Let us say, we love you, we bless you, we behold the Christ in you. We accept you just the way you are. Walk in beauty, you are divine.
And we're going to go ahead and stand up and sing another song. It's in your red book if you want to follow along there. It's song number 241, and the words will also be across the screen. The greatest thing. 241 if you want to use your red book, 241. Go ahead and do the next screen, darling. There we go. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. I want to know you more. I want to know you more. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. I want to love you more. I want to love you more. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. I want to serve you more. I want to serve you more. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. Have a seat.
And will our ushers please bring forward these prayers?
Thank you. You know, we've talked about getting a different box, but I kind of like this humble-looking box.
You know, this is, our prayers come from that very deep, humble place within us. And as we focus on the written prayers here, knowing that they stay here, they receive that prayer energy for the time they are here, and then they go up to silent immunity, up into the prayer room there, which is an amazing place. But we also know that all those prayers that are not written down, those prayers that are in our heart, those prayers that just come to our mind, just in, you know, that momentary place or the time that we are spending. Here she comes. You know, thinking deeply about that process. You know, let us just know that. Let us know and open our hearts. Just open your heart. Open your heart now. Consciously. That divine God Spirit, that divine energy that answers these prayers, that brings the highest and best to all the situations that we hold in our heart. Let us know the truth of that. For it is in knowing and allowing that light to shine through each situation, both for others and for ourselves, that we become aware of the answers. And for this we give our grateful thanks. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Darlene Patton will now read the daily word.
And the daily word is in your insert. If you want to take it out and follow along, it's written in the first person. But as we know in unity, there is no first persons. There is only the one. So it comes from the first person that I say this in honor of all of us, knowing that we are one. And it is grace. I live in the fullness of grace simply because I am. God gives me grace without conditions. I do not have to work hard or even earn divine blessings. My worthiness does not depend on my actions. I am worthy of grace because of who I am. When Moses stood at the burning bush and asked, "Who shall I say sent me?" God said, "I am who I am." The same I am incarnated in the form of Jesus and lives in the core of me. I am made in the image and the likeness of God, and therefore I am the very essence of God. The gift of my essence is grace. Grace takes action too, showing up as delightful goodness in my life. I allow grace to overflow from my heart in free and joyous expression. I live in the fullness of grace simply because I am. By grace you have been saved. It is a gift from God. Ephesians 2:8.
Thank you. Let us prepare ourselves now. Still our minds and relax. Say together our precious Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. And give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
And continue moving deeper into that place of connection. Breathe deeply. Allow your awareness of your breath to be
The awareness of spirit, of inspiration. Breathe in, I am inspired. Breathing out, I am transformed. I am inspired. I am transformed. Allow those words, I am. I am. This is my God connection. I am. What are the attributes of this divine? I am whole. And in this wholeness, I'm aware of my oneness. One one with the one, the essence of wholeness. I am light. I am light in all its manifest directions. I am light. I am that light in which there is no shadow. As I open to this awareness of my divinity, that divine process moving in and through me, I am joy. Oh, breathe in joy. Feel your smile energy bubbling up. I am joy. I am peace. Feel that deep sense of letting go. Allowing that divine energy to take whatever burdens, whatever cares, whatever concerns. I am peace. I am all the abundance that there is in the world. I am. And I breathe in that awareness of abundance and I breathe it out. Just like the air around me. Just like the spirit around me. There is no limitation to the abundance in this world, and I know it. I know it from myself, through myself, for all that are in this world. I know for each individual, wholeness, peace, light, joy. And as I move into that deep, silent place within me, I experience the oneness in the silence. And once again, take a deep breath. Breathing in spirit, breathing out spirit. Experiencing, bringing that joy from within us, from that deep place of connection into our conscious awareness. Bringing that joy, our gratitude, our thanksgiving that as we open our cares and concerns to that divine God of our understanding, to that divine energy, that all is handled. We can let it go. We can experience that grace, that love. Before you have asked, I have answered. And we say, thank you, Spirit. So it is, And as we grow in our understanding, we are making it so. Amen. Breathing. So, the uncertainty factor, what is all that about? Well, we've been talking about taking out the garbage and things like that. So, got any garage sale junkies out there, antique shop junkies, what do we know about that? That one person's garbage is somebody else's treasure. Yeah. So I'm wondering, it's the question, can we transform that which we thought was garbage into treasure? Can we become alchemists within our own spirit? And for those of you that are totally up on physics and know all this stuff, this is going to be a very simplistic explanation, but anybody know what the Heisenberg Principle is? It's where the whole quantum physics stuff begins to take place out there. And basically it says, when you look at energy particles, they change. And they can be either a particle or they can be a wave. Two very different processes. And science, this is not new stuff now. Heisenberg was back in the 30s, the 40s, and he was picking up on things that were coming back. Charles Fillmore knew a lot about this process that science was beginning to discover, that observation shifts energy at its very fundamental levels. So what does that mean about what we can do as we begin to observe? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it fun? Is it not fun? We can begin to observe it and see what's happening with that process. And so this week I had a chance to observe that process. I go to class on Monday morning and I got my feelings hurt. So at the end of class, we do show and tell. We put our paintings up there and our teacher has us look at them and say something that we like about them. And then, she gives us gentle critique. She looks at it and says, here's where you are, and here's... She totally ignored mine. Totally ignored mine. And did I take it personally? Oh, absolutely. But then I said, okay, Carol, what were you teaching on Sunday? And so I began to observe. And remember what I said about talking to yourself in the third person? I said, oh, look, there's Carol having hurt feelings. What do you think that observation, as soon as I began to put that in words, oh, look, there's Carol having her feelings hurt, totally was able to step back. Now, does that mean that the feelings instantly went away? No. And I got thinking about, okay, here I am having my feelings hurt, so I'm here and here's this whirlpool of feelings, and I'm standing there stirring feelings. Nobody else stirs their feelings, I know that. But as soon as I stepped back and said, oh look, there's Carol having her feelings hurt, pulled the spoon out of the pot. And while it doesn't instantly stop circulating within a few minutes, it is. So that observation process changed. Now, this is not to say we shouldn't feel our feelings. We do feel our feelings. But we don't have to stay stuck in our feelings. And that observation process then shifts us back from that process. Now, if I stay in hurt feelings, what can happen? Oh, you know what, that teacher of mine, she doesn't like me, I can go all the way off. As soon as I step back from the hurt feelings thing, I can say, well, I know why she didn't notice my painting. Yes, it's the same picture, but A, everybody else's is watercolor and mine's not. Mine is whatever that is that I do.
Acrylic.
And B, acrylic. And B, where everybody else has blue, I have purple. And so it's just not even across your conscious. I can have that awareness. So we think about when we're going on, when we're caught up, whether it's anger or fear or whatever, as soon as we begin to step back, we keep that ongoing process from escalating out of concern. So we think about that. And so what is this really all about? Well, it's about being vulnerable. When I say the word vulnerable, what does that feel like inside of you? It means, I don't know. Vulnerability.
Denuded.
Hmm?
Denuded.
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 Denuded. Okay, when I'm vulnerable, oh yeah,
Naked.
I'm standing up there without all of my protection on. I'm opening myself, and yet, can I experience the world if I don't allow myself to be in that place of vulnerability? You know, so this uncertainty factor, because when I'm vulnerable, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen out here. I don't know whether that person's going to be nice to me or if they're going to be angry at me. I don't know what those things are. And so fear of loss, failure, lack of trust in ourselves. Ooh, don't you think that's kind of a big one? Lack of trust in myself. Who am I? How am I doing? And lack of trust in the universe as a place of unlimited abundance. Do we catch ourselves when we're in that place of fear and I'm not sure, well, I have the money to do this, can I do that? You know, what's going to happen? What's going to happen in my life? We're afraid of the unknown, and the unknown equals change. Well, how many of us would really like to have things to stay just the way they are? You know, we get into that place. Is that reality? It's changing even as we sit in here. It's changing. But that uncertainty factor is I'm trying to hold on to it like this, but it's not going to stay that way. You know, and part of this is, what if I make a mistake? What if I get lost? What if I make someone angry? How many of us, particularly maybe when we're at work or something like that, or maybe when we were a lot younger, or depending on what our situation is, what if I make somebody actually angry at me? And maybe one of the biggest, what if I cannot control my own emotions? So many people I've talked to, oh, I can't let go, I can't be angry, I can't be hurt, I can't grieve the loss of my child, because if I let go, I might not ever get myself back. You know? So think about, what are these fears that we have? So there's a couple of, you all have a handout in there that you can pull out. So a couple of the things in there I put. What is the acronym for fear? So there's 3 different ones. One is feel everything and release. Feel everything and release. What is one of the others? Yeah, I don't have it here.
False evidence.
False
Expectations
evidence.
appearing real.
Expectations appearing.
False evidence appearing real. And I really like that. False expectations. You know, expectations. And when we have expectations out there, so begin to look at this what is fear? And, you know, are we willing to risk? And for many years, I've had so many people look at me and say, Carol, you're such a risk taker. And I just step back. Honey, I've never taken a risk in my life. I look at them and I listen to them and I begin to say, what are they thinking is risky? And I look, you know, move from here and take a new job, sell my house, go someplace else, drive across the country, all of those kinds of things. And then I think about, well, I'm an observer. Okay, we're going back to the observation process. So when you're not observing, you don't know that something can either be risky or not risky. When you're an observer, you know, I don't know all the potential that can happen, but I know most of the ones that they're worried about. And I've looked at them and gone, no, I know how to handle this. So for me, it did not seem to be risky. For somebody else, it seemed to have a lot of risk. So we begin to look at that. What am I observing? What am I not observing?
Is this really a risky situation I'm stepping out into, or is it not? So some of the things that can move us forward. So this is on your handout, and this comes from Renee. I'm not going to tell you, but anyway, the book that I've been using her book a lot lately. And so wholehearted living. Wholehearted means how can I have my whole being, my whole heart involved in this process. And so she's got 10 principles here. The first one, I love this one. Cultivate authenticity. Let go of what people think.
Amen.
How many of us step back, here's who I really am, but somebody will think I'm weird, or, whatever that is. Can I begin to let go of that process and be who I truly am? Cultivate self-compassion. Now look what self-compassion means. Letting go of perfectionism. And perfectionism, a lot of people have been writing about this lately. Once I get focused on that perfectionism, I stop growing. Because nothing is ever perfect. It's like going back to the change, fear of change. Perfectionism means once it's there, it's never going to change. Well, it's always going to change. So letting go of that, having compassion for myself and moving beyond that. Cultivate a resilient spirit. Let go of powerlessness and numbing. So powerlessness means this is who I think I am. I have no power in this world. And because I have no power in this world, I'm just going to numb off those feelings. Oh no, I don't feel that. No, I'm not upset. No, I didn't get my feelings hurt. No. And it also means, I can't get too excited. I can't have too much fun, because as soon as I get involved in all of that, something's going to happen. Something's going to change. So begin to cultivate that resilient spirit that says, yes, everything is going to change. And by my observation of it, it can change in the direction I want it to change. Cultivate gratitude and joy. I think this group is a really good one. We like to do that. We let go of scarcity. Recognize when you are in scarcity and let go of that. And fear of the dark. And fear of the dark means that dark place. We all have dark places inside of ourselves. What happens when we begin to examine that? Sometimes we find out there are treasures in there. Dark doesn't have to be negative. It can be velvet. It can be the night sky with the stars shining. So we let go of the fear. Cultivate intuition and trusting. Intuition and trusting. And what you put after that is faith. So faith is that trust. It is that intuitive process. Pay attention to your intuitive things. When somebody said, yes, go for it. Something inside of you, you did, and it was wonderful. And something said, don't go there, and you didn't, and you go, thank you. I listened to that intuitive process. And faith, looking out there, yes, I'm going to know that something good is happening. Not going to happen, is happening. Cultivate creativity, and you do this by letting go of comparison. Letting go of comparison. And what happened here? I got my pages out of order. Now they're really out of order. Let's see where we go with this. That's all right. Cultivate play and rest. How many of us think about that idea? Cultivating play and rest. Let go of exhaustion as a status symbol. Have you ever been there? Do you know people are in that place? And productivity as self-worth. That doesn't mean we don't want to be productive. It doesn't mean that sometimes we're not willing to work ourselves to exhaustion. But don't make it a lifestyle. Don't make it, that's who I am. So cultivate that. ability to play and rest. Lots of studies done that say, you're much more productive when you also take the time to play and to rest and to recoup your energy. Cultivate calm and stillness. Let go of anxiety as a lifestyle. Ooh, how many people do you know that they're never going to let go of anxiety? If you're not worried, you obviously don't understand the situation. What does that do to us? Oh, my. I mean, think about it. Just practice feeling when you're thinking about you're being anxious, the muscles all tighten up, and what's happening in here, what's happening to your physicality. So letting go of anxiety as a lifestyle. Cultivate meaningful work. Let go of self-doubt and supposed to. So I also translate supposed to as that shoulding on yourself. Don't should on yourself. Do this because I find meaning in it. So cultivate that meaningful work. And then the last one on here, cultivate laughter, song, and dance. Let go of being cool and always in control. That is absolutely one thing. When we go out to lunch, when we go out to things, you realize this Unity family doesn't have a whole lot of problem with cultivating laughter, song, and dance. So what does Charles say about this? So first of all, trust and love. Remember, that's our expert help. Remember, we started this whole series by knowing we have expert help out there. We don't have to do this by ourselves. So Fillmore explains, your trust in God frees you from self-doubt, and you find yourself free from the doubt of others. So I'm letting go of my own self-doubt, and I'm letting go of whoever that is, mom, dad, brother, sister, kid, oh, mom, you can't do that. So the anxious, worried individual betrays his lack of trust in God. Your trust frees you from burdens and releases you from feelings of excessive responsibility. Now that's interesting to know as a Unity person, because we're about personal responsibility, but sometimes we take that to excess. So our trust, we can let go of that. And then I love this one. If you feel that it is impossible for you to trust, trust anyway. Trust by the moment, trust in the morning, trust every hour on the hour, trust at work and at rest. Trust yourself, trust others, trust life. Trust the Spirit in everyone and in everything. The reality of the Spirit of God lies within all, and is worthy of trust. So I think that fits very beautifully with those 10 statements that Brené Brown. I remember the name. Thank you. Brené Brown. And then I found this. Y'all may be very, very familiar with this, or maybe not as familiar. It's from the Velveteen Rabbit. The skin horse had lived longer in the nursery than any of the others. He was so old that his brown coat was bald in patches and showed the seams underneath. And most of the hairs in his tail had been pulled out to string bead necklaces. He was wise, for he had seen a long succession of mechanical toys arrive to boast and swagger, and by break their mainsprings and pass away. And he knew they were only toys and would never turn into anything else. For nursery magic is very strange and wonderful, and only those playthings that are old and wise and experienced, like the skin horse, understand all about it. "What is real?" asked the rabbit one day, when they were laying side by side near the nursery fender, before Nana came to tidy the room? Does it mean having things that buzz inside you and a stick-out handle? Real isn't how you're made, said the skin horse. It's a thing that happens to you. When a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you, then you become real. Does it hurt? Asked the rabbit. Sometimes, said Skin Horse, for he was always truthful. But when you're real, you don't mind being hurt. Does it happen all at once, like being wound up, the rabbit asked, or bit by bit? It doesn't happen all at once, said the Skin Horse. You become. It takes a long time. That's why it doesn't happen often to people who break easily, or have sharp edges, or have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you are real, most of your hair has been rubbed off. And your eyes drop out. And you get loose in the joints. And very shabby. But these things don't matter at all. Because once you're real, you can't be ugly. Except to people who don't understand. I just love that. And so I want to close with this passage from Corinthians. And again, this is a passage for which we are all very familiar, but it's so beautifully expressed. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. And where there is fear and uncertainty, there will be the experience of a wholehearted life. Thank you.
Well, my Velveteen Rabbit, I haven't read that since I was young. It's a beautiful book. We're going to go ahead and stand up and sing a song called I'm Here to Remind You by David Orth. The words will be on the wall. Go ahead.
Let's say together the prosperity blessing on the wall there too. The inexhaustible resource of spirit is equal to every demand. There is no reality in lack. Abundance is here and now manifest.
All that I have is all that I give.
divine love
through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I can give, and all that I receive. Lovingly I give, and lovingly I receive.
Well, again, let us welcome each and every one of you here. It's wonderful to have you with us, and we hope to see you again. And Reverend Karen, do you have any announcements?
Yeah, the 23rd. Realize we're already in October, so not this Friday, but the following Friday, A Course in Miracles. So it's a film. We'll be showing it here. It's $10. It's celebrating the 50th anniversary of the bringing of the Course in Miracles out to the public. So if you're a Course in Miracles person, or even if you're not a Course in Miracles person. And so it's a chorus in Miracles, so I think it's going to have some music in there. And James Twyman is the producer there, and he's all about music. So October the 23rd.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
And for the, I do have an announcement. So we didn't meet this past week for youth group, but we had a great time, this is fall break, but we had a great time playing some miniature golf. We had a couple what's the youngest boy? What's his name? I forgot. He got a hole in one. It was the best thing I've ever had. It was hilarious. He was like, woo! It was cool. So I had a good time. Next month we're going to do bowling. There's potential. I haven't talked to youth yet. But Adam, thank you, Adam. Just a great group. We had a great time. And then this coming Thursday for the youth, again, it's 10 and up. I'm gonna bring some paint supplies. We're gonna do some finger painting, meditation and finger painting. Just open up those creative juices. So, and the next month we'll do bowling. And maybe at the end of the month there's something we may do here. She might have mentioned it to you about going to Low Mill for a kid-friendly Halloween event on Saturday afternoon. Is that also 23rd?
It's on the 24th.
24th, thank you. So just kind of keep that in mind. We'll make a decision this week if we can do that. So that's it. So we're having a great time. And then upstairs we've got the kids' chapel. So that's 4 to 9, ages 4 to 9, and they're having a good time up there too. The kids had a great time last week. So kudos to your daughter for carrying that on. So having fun.
That sounds wonderful.
Sing our peace song. Go ahead and stand up, and we'll close with our peace song and the prayer for protection. And that's the That's true.
Yeah, you can say that.
That's true.